Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, silence.
We're the goddamn fun trio, and here's our fantasy game.
I don't think that's what we're called, but okay.
That's our new intro.
No, it's not.
It's not.
There's five of us, and we're the
Our
goddamn
new
fun
intro
trio.
is exactly like our old intro. Hello,
crap.
everyone, and welcome to PATHCO. I'm Mon, and I honestly don't know where I'm going with that. I'm just...
My name's
Okay.
Jake, and I'm the
You're a
leader of
DM.
the
You're
trio.
the DM. This is your.
Yeah, I am the
Oh,
DM,
that's a good point.
as always.
You tell us a story, some dice are rolled, everyone has a good time.
And you do
Yeah.
basically everything in this module.
Yes.
Literally, I think.
Okay.
Everything in this module.
This stream is rated PG. Just
No, it's
FYI,
not.
guys.
What?
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
I'm fairly certain it's not.
We should be at least a 12. We swear too much.
I disagree.
Yeah, that's true. Like, we do swear.
Children need to
But
learn how to
be
handle
fair,
swearing.
like, children swear all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't, but I was.
We
no
way
one liked
less
me.
than some children I know.
Yeah, like most children
Mm.
swear all the time.
Well, this intro went about as well as usual.
Yeah,
this is-
I
this is
really
the
think
bottom
we did
tier, I
the
think.
low with
well.
this one.
I think
Um,
I forgot to interrupt it last week, so I'm just like, well, better go in
Okay.
whole hog.
So,
Yeah,
so,
I
so,
mean,
so there's been
I
some
had it
murders,
coming, I
I believe,
guess.
man. Some murders, but not by a serial killer, but that's just what they want you to think.
Also,
Yeah,
is
exactly.
the serial killer's name the Sailor or the Slayer? Because I can't remember.
Sailor.
And it's wrong.
The sailor.
Blackwater
If
Sailor.
you look at your handouts, there's
Killer
a pamphlet
pamphlet.
about him
I've brought it up on stream now.
from a horrible tabloid.
But it was actually the man.
Oh, no, well, no, it is. Yeah, that's right.
The man.
And what other things did we find out last session, Egg?
Did we kill a man?
No, I don't think so.
Pretty sure
I don't
we
remember
didn't.
that.
Oh, okay, sweet, cool.
Because I've got to be honest, the last note in my notes is that our job is to build a model of the VAS iridescence out
no,
of
that
paper
was-
tips. And I'm fairly certain that's not right.
I'm hearing an echo,
Ah.
by the way. Who is
No,
Oh, we
I'm
need to
pretty
fight
sure
a
that
hot air
that's
balloon.
just
That's what
some-
today's game is.
yeah. If you want, I'll recap.
that? That seems good.
If you can recap.
What are my notes?
But
Do I have any useful notes?
I'm not
Answer,
sure how that'll go.
probably no.
Paper tips?
Yeah, I think we mentioned some stuff earlier in the
Okay,
chat.
I do have
meaning
notes.
that-
Do you want me to read them out verbatim? Verbatim?
yeah, sure. Yeah,
I've
let's
got-
see what you guys still remember.
Olaf, dead comrade, had important notes, office in the academy. Hanging, mentioned in pamphlet, was load of bollocks. Scuffle on his desk and weird blood. Tough quality tobacco cigar in the desk, not from the box, but we discovered that was actually not important. He noticed that
Indeed.
colleagues were shadowing him from the alchemical engineering department lab 4. And to avoid him, he can't find them in the register, had not told anyone else. Then he thinks it was a prank. Someone called Miss Wolfsnick, wrong handwriting in all caps. Which I remember now, it was like in his diary, the last bit was like, oh no, never mind, I'm not being shadowed after all, ho ho, and it was clearly written by someone that wasn't him to try and throw us off, but we're smart.
Indeed. Okay. So indeed, you guys did some investigating in Olaf Peachwood's office. You found this suspicious diary that you've just talked about. You stole one perfectly normal cigar.
Now I'm wondering
And
if we
you
should have opened the box instead. Oops.
And you made it back to the pub, where at night, or at least somewhere after night, you realized that Sigmund's been having weird dreams. Maybe there's like something to do with the night hag influencing him. Maybe he's just a terrible alcoholic. Who knows?
Maybe both.
Could be both. Could be. I think that is where we left off last time.
Yeah, that sounds
so-
about right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the last thing was Thyra telling Sigmund he drinks too much. And then
I think
everyone looked
so.
at the camera like it was The Office.
No, Dave went
Yeah.
to sleep again.
Exactly.
So what time of evening did that happen?
That was like in the middle of the night. Like Sigmund woke up screaming pretty much from his weird nightmare. So I think that having gone back to bed, it is now the morning of day 2 in Blackwater.
Thyra did not go back to bed and has sat cross-legged on her bed, opposite Sigmund, watching him sleep.
Okay.
That's not weird.
No, Sigmund's been farting in the night. He's got
Gross.
them night vapors.
Gross.
Technically,
you're
everyone
aware.
does.
That's why she's on the other side of the room.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But we do live in a sewer now, so...
Yeah.
fuck.
Well, there's
You
a door
do.
onto the sewer. It's not that dire.
It's pretty dire, I don't know, man.
I know. Okay. Is there anything that you are specifically trying to accomplish with that?
I'm just... like... Well, I don't have anything that can see spooky shit particularly, and it's the sort of evening before, so I don't have any new spells to deal with it yet. So
Okay.
I want to see if like there's any sort of outward sign of that whole sort of fantastical bullshit happening to him. But
Weird bollocks.
Yeah. Just looking like that, I don't think that there's anything... you don't notice anything supernatural, just Sigmund having a pretty bad time sleeping as always.
Yeah, he's tossing and turning like
Yeah.
he's kind of wrapped in some kind of
Yeah, like-
weird burrito.
Yeah, he's like Sigmund's clearly not in a good way while dreaming, but you don't notice anything supernatural.
right, cool. Oh, I have a glove filled with glowy blood as well. You remember that I did that?
True. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, if we went to investigate Lab 4, we could also use the alchemical equipment to check out the weird glowy blood.
If any of us knew how to do that.
Oh, I assumed you did. What?
Possibly? I know many things. I don't know what kind of role that would be.
I have an approximate knowledge
There's
of
just
many,
things. That is being a bard.
I think in terms of alchemical equipment, it would depend on the complexity of the machine in question.
That's a problem for
But
in-game
okay.
tomorrow. Which is probably now.
Okay. Yes, indeed. So basically, having gone through the night, you guys are now on day 2 in Blackwater. Your spells are replenished. If there's anyone... I don't think anyone was leveling up.
No, not yet.
All
Don't
right.
think so, no.
Okay.
Still
then
9k away.
nothing in that regard to be had. Yeah. Then, Thyra, you have prepped new spells?
Oh, I have. Would you like the spell list?
I would.
Okay. That will take a minute.
You guys take it in Discord?
Okay.
Or read it?
As
was going
you,
to, yes.
yeah, you can just copy paste them into Discord, so I can read over them.
Shall do.
Otherwise, what are you guys planning to do?
Breakfast. And then second breakfast. In that order.
Okay, the spell list. Thank you very much.
Ira is going to spend an hour praying to Thor. She has like her travel cleric kit, which includes like a little like probably includes like an oak sapling and stuff that she has in a tiny pot, and like you know, a little statue of Thor. So stuff like that, you know.
Cool.
Maybe a little incense burner or something. It smells like mead halls.
Nice. Okay. This is looking pretty good. Okay. I like the sewer card from Tim that you have that.
You know, I have to. If I keep everything in the same place, that's easier for me. So.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So, having had breakfast and second breakfast, which is probably like gold stuff from last night in the inn, which you've been
Yeah.
served. What is you guys' plan of action? What are your goals?
Well, we'll need to have 11s
Well-
at some point.
Yeah, true.
But until
I
then-
do have Speak with Dead prepared today. We could.
That was the plan, right?
Yeah, but
That's
we've
neat.
also got this new lead about the alchemy lab.
Are the alchemy lab and the corpse in the same building?
Well, the corpse we decided was not in the university. It was in the building next to it.
No.
Where's the map? There it
I
is.
think I had that it was at 28.
28. Yes, probably the library, the clinic, which is it's right next door, and we've cleared out the sewers mostly, so we can just have a merry jaunt through there.
Yeah. Blackwater map. There we go.
It seems like a divide and conquer, but dividing and conquering isn't always the best and most sensible solution either.
As in, one of us goes after the corpse, and some of us go to Lab 4.
Well, it seems like a 2-and-2 split, right?
Yeah, 2-and-2 split.
I think so. I think maybe Dave and Glanvar to the Lab 4.
The dream
Yeah.
team.
The dream stealth team. Stealth team.
Well, that's it. Both of you are fairly accomplished at stealth, and Dave can make himself look like a student.
Yes.
Or a janitor.
Yes.
Or an
Anything
alchemist.
Or an
That would
alchemist.
be even better. Now that
An alchemist student.
That's the
janitor.
one. Tap my head 3 times.
it's you got to workshop a plan sometimes. It does mean that Sigmund and Thyra are trying to infiltrate a place to discuss a corpse, but hey, how badly can that go?
And he jinxed it.
Yep.
Seems legit.
Okay. That sounds
I
cool.
will then be able to ask it 4 questions.
Who killed
Neat.
you? Where did they go?
It can lie.
No,
What the
that's-
fuck, corpse.
Yeah, corpses can lie. Like, I've played Ace Attorney. Like, that happened.
Fuck you, corpse.
Wow, yes. If there's any place where corpses would lie, it would be in Ace Attorney.
Yeah, that's
do as
extremely
well.
accurate.
That is terrifically accurate. Like he says, having never played Ace Attorney.
You're the only
we
one
should-
of us that hasn't.
It's a
You need
shame,
to
isn't it?
Emulate
I know, because I know that I'd like it because it's got that flair, doesn't it?
It's got that
Stupid-
bizarre NPC
stupid
shit, and you
NPCs.
did a
Yeah.
rat wizard.
I
map
really
yesterday,
need to
last session.
play it on like an emulator or something.
Mm,
It's coming to Steam, but it's 30 quid for all 3 of the first games.
Jesus.
Right.
The first game came
It
out
might
in
be the HD version on the
2001.
Plus.
Crying out loud. Should not be charging 30 quid for a game that came out in 2001.
I mean, because they
Well,
did.
it's like 10 per game then, isn't it?
It's still
Yeah,
quite expensive for like a digital download of games that have been out for over a decade.
but they
That is
are like
true.
the HD versions. Like they've
Oh,
improved
the
the
HD
pixel
versions suck though.
art.
The sprites are
Okay.
rubbish. They're badly animated.
So in terms of
Anyway.
getting to the academy and the clinic, are you guys were saying something about the sewers?
Yeah, we've cleared it out. It's nice and fast, and we don't get noticed either. But we'll
Alright.
try and come
Um,
out in a place that isn't the middle of the university this time.
Okay. That sounds cool. Are you doing any specific kind of prep before you are heading to location?
I guess I'd talk to Glab about. Do we think we should be completely stealthy, no one sees us, or should we do the whole "I'm a student, you're a bodyguard" thing again?
I say we lead with the latter and to go to the former. Should they not buy it?
Okay, good call. And I'll put my magic sleeves on when we get there.
Okay.
So I look like a fancy student boy again.
Sigmund, Thyra, what about you?
Okay, so the corpse is. Where's it actually stored? What's the name of the building?
It's the Caramont Clinic.
The Caramont Library and Clinic.
Yes,
So-
the Caramont Library and Clinic. They are two discrete buildings, I might add. They are
Oh,
just
okay.
close to each other.
Right. They're just
Oh, right.
next door. They share some
Yeah,
facilities.
they're not. It's not like a building that is both a library and a clinic.
Oh, damn, because that would have been pretty dope.
You know what? Actually, forget that. It is that. It
Yeah.
is both a library and a clinic.
Like it makes like I assumed it was like a medical library
Yeah,
or something,
that's why I
like
should
medical
as well.
history.
Yeah.
Or
It's very
case
badly. Like the
files.
architecture is very bad, so you have to go through the clinic to get to the library.
I mean, that's better than the other way around.
that's true. I
I
suppose.
mean, like you've got like a guy and he's bleeding everywhere, and you're like,
yeah. Actually, a fair
just got
point.
it on the complete works of Shakespeare.
Okay,
God.
yeah. So I've now decreed that you have to go through the library first,
Oh Jesus!
then you can get to the clinic.
It's so
which is basically
badly
this is-
orientated.
Yeah,
Who
it is
built
badly
this?
oriented. Like the clinic is all just like the upper floor, and the lower floor is like the library.
Why is it 4 flights of stairs to get into the clinic? I've got
Yeah,
a broken
it's
leg.
terrible. I know, right?
That's not a lift or anything.
Who
It's
designed this place?
right.
Let's all remember that Olaf Peachwood was in the architecture department, by the way.
Yeah, fuck you, Olaf. Maybe you
I
deserve
like
to
the
be
idea
dead.
of him actually just being kind of terrible and
Bloody
just
stupid
like
Johnson.
designing the worst buildings.
Oh, I'm really glad you went for the same reference at the same time, buddy. That's
Yes,
why we're
yes,
such good friends.
It's not
Bloody
quite as
stupid
nonsensical as
Johnson.
Bloody Stupid Johnson, but almost.
exactly. He is of the bloody stupid Johnson School of Architecture,
Nice.
very much so.
Okay, so how does one get in to see a corpse at a morgue?
I think
Well,
That,
morgues are usually in the basement, right? And we're going in through the
is
sewers,
true.
so there could be some connecting feature.
Maybe
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like a corpse.
the library
dumping house.
is like squashed between the clinic and the morgue basement.
Lovely.
It's
That's a
yeah,
relaxing environment to
it's
study in.
pretty grim. It's
Yeah.
kind of grim.
Oh, that means if someone dies in the clinic, they have to go through
Yeah,
the library.
yeah, it
So
does.
badly designed.
This is
It's
poor
very
design.
badly designed. It's yeah.
Thyra, can I
Yeah.
pitch you on something?
Oh, hang on, wait. I wasn't using her voice. Shite.
Okay.
Wait,
no,
shit,
well,
then I was. Fuck!
Yeah, no, I got real that. No, yeah, that threw me a little
Okay,
bit.
right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Now I'm Thyra.
Okay.
Sure, Sigmund. What's up?
Well, Thyra, it strikes me that in this kind of clinic, as badly designed as this seems to be, they're going to have lots of people wandering around all kinds of places, just from them naturally getting lost. So if we can get some kind of like clinic uniform, if we can knock some people out, like some kind of bald, barcoded assassin, steal their clothes, then we can possibly get a bit of a run of the place.
I mean, I feel like there's going to be more than just like medical people in there. You know, there'll just be like interested parties reading. Can we ask the bartender guy what kind of library it actually is? Has he been there?
He's not been there, but you can ask him some stuff about it. He will
Tell me what you know.
tell me what you know.
Where is he? You bastard.
So he will say that the library is mostly the medical department of the university library. So they have, because it was getting kind of big and they needed more space for the alchemical library, they kind of outsourced the medical department library to the Caramon clinic. And basically the library there is built on that, and by now is sort of half of it is like the university's medical library, and the other half is like a civilian library, basically. So it's like fiction, thrillers, like, you know, standard.
And it's set up so it's every other shelf. So there's like
Yeah.
a shelf of fiction, and then there's a bookcase filled with like extremely gruesome, you know,
yeah, basically.
murder evidence and whatnot.
Like people put them back in the wrong places as well because they're badly labeled. So yeah,
And of course, all the librarians are medical students, so their notes and stuff are completely indecipherable.
yeah, it's extremely illegible.
It is very like this
It's-
game
it's
doesn't
pretty
have
much- it's
disadvantage,
pretty
but to
much
find
agreed
anything there,
upon.
you have to roll with disadvantage.
Yeah. It used to be that there was like a garden maze here in Blackwater, but it got converted into a normal garden because if people wanted the maze, they just came to the library.
That happens a lot. I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if? I mean, I have medical skills
Mm.
to an extent. What if we just go to a random alchemist shop, buy some like alchemist scrubs, and then wear those. I'll talk. Easy.
Okay, yeah.
Oh shit, I wasn't using Thyra's voice. Right, hang on.
No, that seems okay. That's
We just construct an elaborate disguise. I'll wear like a face mask and everything.
Okay. Well, what kind of alchemy shop are you looking for? Are you just looking for something like small business?
well. Does one of the people in the shop like have a recommendation of because they're spies, right? They must have some people on the books.
Yeah. So, what's his name? Bert not. That's his name. Bert not.
My favorite man.
The innkeeper is gonna say, well, if you're looking for a oh no, I need to do the art, proper art. Well, if you're looking for an alchemist, you could try Mr. Grimes, but he's a pretty big shot around here. Very rich as well. Heard that heard that the clinic is still giving him shit about not disclosing his formula to them. But if you're looking for something a bit more on the rough side, there's I'm pretty sure there's like some wee little shops down in the industrial department. Quarter. Industrial quarter.
No, I think someone with an open grudge against the place that we're trying to infiltrate will do just fine.
All right.
Thyra strokes her beard conspiratorially.
I get what you're saying there. All right. Anything else?
Yes, it's nearly 11s, so can I get like some kind of prepared sandwich or something? Dave's about to go out and he gets really cranky if he doesn't have his 11s.
Right. What do you want on your sandwich? I've got
Just, I don't know, like some.
Well, I've got. Let me look
some
around
sort of,
here and
like
you just rummage
hams or
through some
pickles.
stuff. Yeah, I've got
Potentially like a
pickles.
plow.
I've got this pickled egg. It's been lying around for a while. It might go bad soon. Might already have
that's
actually.
The whole thing about
do you want a pickled egg
not
sandwich?
Yes, he does.
All right. Just give me a minute then.
Okay.
Do you want
You're
mayonnaise?
a good man, Bert.
Do you want mayonnaise on that?
I don't. I really don't. I don't know how long that's been there, based on how long you've said the egg was.
He sort of like opens up the pot of mayonnaise and he sort of looks at it, sniffs it. I should probably make new mayonnaise.
You should probably make new mayonnaise. I agree.
All right. And he basically gets like the pickled egg. It's in like a big bowl, but there's nothing in it except for the one pickled egg. He gets it out of there, like cuts it up, puts it on a sandwich, puts some butter on it as well for good measure.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and he gives it to you. He puts it in like it's like paper bags, and he puts it in one. It doesn't have like a logo or anything like that, but he just draws like 3 badly drawn geese on it as like a logo, and he gives it to you.
This feels very inefficient. What if you get multiple customers at once? I feel like you should put the geese on.
I've got a stamp. I've got a stamp for emergencies.
Oh, okay. That's
and he like opens up a drawer, shows you like a roughly carved wooden stamp of like 3 geese.
You're an entrepreneur. But
Yeah,
I like you.
I am.
Okay, well, I'm going to be leaving now. Thyra goes back down into the basement.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you've acquired one pickled egg and butter sandwich.
I immediately give it to Dave.
Nice.
Oh, what's
All
this?
right.
Dave, you have acquired one.
It's
a
a
steak
pickled
one?
egg sandwich.
Okay.
I don't know. I knew you wanted 11s, and, well, Bert was more than happy to oblige.
Putting that in my items.
Okay, cool.
1d4 poison damage per turn.
Yeah. It's a rare natural occurrence of the spell Poisoned Egg.
Oh, Such a bad spell.
I love that spell. That is my favorite spell in the entirety of Pathfinder's spellbook.
Does Polly have it?
No, he doesn't, and it's
He
a
should.
shame. It's
Maybe
a
he can.
through and
maybe
through.
he
It's
can
a
come back
shame.
from his time away, having learned poison.
Yeah, Azazel would definitely have taught him poison there.
Here's how to prank those mortals.
Yeah, basically.
I like that I hear a slight echo on my near hair. It's good.
Nice. Okay. So you guys have sort of a plan of action. Dave and Glanfar, are you guys going ahead through the sewers while Sigmund and Thyra are getting their like medical?
We're getting our industrial espionage on.
I assume
Yeah.
so.
Yep,
Okay,
sounds like
cool.
the best way to get there.
So here's a question. Who of you is taking the sewer clam card?
We're going above ground because
Okay.
I hate Tim.
Okay.
So I guess
That's
Davis...
too bad because Sigmund loves Tim.
It's true, he does.
I'm sure he does. Okay, so Dave
It's a
and
fine man. Fine man.
No, go ahead, Sigmund.
So Tim's a fine man. You know, we hang out, we have good times, we have japes, jolly japes.
Yeah.
You've been here one evening.
And I make friends quickly.
Egg and Glanville, as you guys pass through the sewers, you get a stamp on your sewer clam card. Tim says, "All right, be on your merry way, my friends. By the way, anything from the gift shop, perhaps?"
Not today, Tim. Maybe tomorrow.
All right, I'll be looking out for you.
I'm sure you will. Bye, Tim.
Bye. Bye. Okay, so you guys are traversing the sewers, probably like whacking a ghoul here and there as you go. Could you roll me a 1d10, please?
Each or just once? Nope. I rolled a 4 at any rate.
Okay. That's fine.
Good.
Nothing
I like
out of
fine.
the ordinary happens.
Nothing that we notice, at least.
Nothing that you notice, at least. So while you guys are heading through the sewers, Thyra and Sigmund, you were saying that you were going towards Mr. Graham's shop.
Yep, I
Okay,
think so.
cool. As you come to it, you can see already an indicator of Mr. Graham's wealth is that his shop is on the main road, basically.
He gets that.
Yeah,
that
like-
trade.
Yeah, like that's expensive. That's some
Real
expensive rent right there.
Oh, fuck.
So he is. You can see as you come onto the Collier's Way, which is the main road through this half of Blackwater. You can see a big store, which is in a large brick house, which is clearly like very well off. And you see a very elaborate sign with like even some what looks like gold leaf that says Mr. Graham's Apothecary. And underneath it, it has like a subtitle, home, like what's the name of the thing again? Yeah, home of the one and only Mr. Graham's Tincture of Remedy. And you can see like big bottles of various sizes, like sort of brown colored bottles with a dark red fluid in standing in the shop window, and it's all very well arranged. There's like flowers in pots in the window to decorate it. Like this guy is clearly pretty high end, and he looks a lot richer than the shops that you have seen around like the 3D scene and stuff.
Is it like noticeably nicer than the other shops in the kind of area as well?
Well, not necessarily, because this is the
just like
main
it's a
road.
It's like a good neighborhood.
Yeah, like this
Or
is
like a posh neighborhood.
this is the shopping street basically.
Oh.
So these are all like stonework buildings, which are wealthy buildings as opposed to like woodwork and stuff like that in the lesser neighborhoods. Like yeah, this is pretty big stuff.
Good to know.
But you can see that even compared to his peers, Mr. Graham seems to be doing very well for himself.
Okay, well, shall we... Alright, shall we go in? Gentlemen first?
Oh, yes. Sorry, that was me having a...
voice?
Oh, that was bad. That was not even slightly close.
Nope.
Oh man, that was spooky.
It was. I'm not super happy this has been recorded, but okay.
Was that Sigmund doing his alchemist voice?
Yeah.
No, that was me getting something caught in my throat and it.
Oh, bloody. Oh,
Okay,
right.
I was
so
trying to give you a
I've
good
been-
excuse, but you brushed it off.
I know. Sometimes you gotta own. Sometimes you gotta take the L. Sometimes you gotta take and hold that L. Okay, so, yes, let's head inside. These smells do take me back, Thyra. My niece was really into alchemy. Did I ever tell you that?
I don't think so, but a lot of it's been blotted from my memory.
Well, let's go take a look.
So
Is
as
there
you
a
come
bell
in,
above the
you
door?
hear a little ting like, "Ting," and you come into the store. Basically, you see a lot of like the big wall of pharmaceuticals, like you would see in an apothecary, but like at least half of it is just the brown bottles with dark red liquid, which is clearly the tincture of remedy that this apothecary is known for. The other stuff is like other multicolored bottles for various other niche things.
As a disciple of healing, and as a canonical brewing specialist, can I take a look at the tincture of remedy?
You can.
I do.
Is there anything you would like to roll in?
Do you think heal is more accurate, or like craft brewing, maybe?
I think heal would be the more accurate one.
Okay, I'm better at that, but you know.
Hmm.
I rolled a
Right.
6.
19.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah.
I do one thing.
Getting that plus 13 bonus.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's funny that.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay, so like you are reading the pamphlet that you got for it. Like that's another indicator of like basically that this is a pretty wealthy shop, that he has the money for advertisement. And like you read, like this seems to be pretty standard stuff. As far as you can tell, obviously you can't tell quite the exact formula since he keeps that a very close secret. You can tell like it has some standard stuff like morphine, cannabis mugwort, and
So it's kind of similar ingredients to like healing potions and stuff.
yeah. You know that healing potions generally are like stuff that is suffused with positive energy, and that is where like the healing comes from. Because they are magic potions after all, and you're not quite sure whether this stuff is magical or not. You looking at it, you see that it has a dark red color as opposed to a standard healing potions, more like vibrant red color. So it seems that unless there is some colorant added to it, the formula is definitely in some way significantly different.
Okay, I was more just interested in how snake oily it was.
Oh,
But,
yeah, no, it definitely seems legit.
Huh, good to know. Is there like anyone actually in here, or is there like a bell?
at the moment, there's a cashier standing around. She is a dwarven lady, and you can tell that she's probably standing on like a on something to be high enough to reach over the counter properly, because she is seems to be significantly taller than you, and she is at the moment reading in some kind of book, and gives you a nice nod as you come inside and are looking at the wares.
I greet her in Dwarven, politely.
She sort of tilts her head and says, "I'm sorry?"
Huh. Forgive me. Myself and me esteemed colleague here were looking to purchase some alchemical garb. I was wondering if you had any in stock. We're healers by trade, but we're new to the city.
Oh, right. Is that so? Well, I can ask in the back whether we have some stuff lying around, I suppose.
That would be excellent, if you don't mind. I mean, is
Yes,
Mr. Graham in today, incidentally?
Mr. Graham is... well, I can go and check if you want. I'm not sure whether he's in right now. He might be in his office.
Well, if you could, you know, give him a knock. If he is around, we'd love to meet him. You know, building contacts in a new city. And all that.
Who may I announce?
My name is Myra Thurgbalk.
And I'm Simon Von Beek.
And that's Simon Von Beek. He's my apprentice.
Right. Okay. Well, where are you from, by the way? Are you from
Mjolkirk,
or maybe somewhere around?
A little bit further afield than that.
Oh, right. Well, glad to know that you've found your way into our city. And she goes into the back, and you hear sort of like a jingle as she goes through like a curtain of, you know, like those like bead
Like a
curtains.
curtain?
Yeah, she goes through one of those.
Sorry for calling you an apprentice. Roll with it.
That's fine. I was gonna, that's better than what I was gonna come up with. I was gonna say I was your jester, which in hindsight wasn't a very good idea.
You're still wearing what? No. Okay, I'm glad you didn't do that.
No, we dodged a bullet there, to be fair.
Yep, that's a perk. Thyra is wearing her armor, but she does have her healer's vest on, which is kind of like
that
a loose-fitting kind of aprony thing.
And
Does,
I think that,
potions
like you having said that you come from a while outside of Blackwater, probably gives that reasonable context in this.
We definitely
cashier's
look
head,
like we've
because-
been traveling a while.
Yeah, like it's pretty clear that these people think that everything outside of Blackwater is like some kind of wasteland. So,
and she doesn't speak Dwarven. Jeez,
no, she doesn't.
That feels slightly racist. Okay, racial languages are strange.
So she comes back, and she says, "Okay, so Mr. Graham, we'll see you shortly. He's actually quite interested. And how what kind of garb exactly are you looking for? We've got 2 aprons to spare. I'm currently can find only one full robe. Is it laboratory things that you're looking for?
Just the protectionary stuff. We've brought a fair amount of our own ingredients, obviously already cleared through the city guard. But yes, I think a full robe for myself and a apron for the apprentice would be particularly helpful, if you wouldn't mind.
Right. Okay. Do you need breath masks, or are you fine?
Breath masks would be helpful if you have some to spare. I
think that would be good. Yes. Yes. Never be too careful.
Exactly.
All right. Fine. we're a bit low on herb for the moment. So if you could put down maybe a bit of compensation, that would be nice, because I
Oh,
do
of
have to
course.
go buy new herbs this
Oh, I wasn't
afternoon,
expecting
probably.
anything for free. You know, this is preparing business relations, I think. How
Yes,
much would you be looking for, lads?
certainly. Okay, well, I am just gonna look for that then. Oh, and there's Mr. Graham. If you and the bead curtain also opens, and a man walks in, who is at first sight pretty short. In fact, you are quite quickly becoming aware that Mr. Graham is a halfling.
Oh,
And he sort of comes in. He's wearing a very crisp, sort of a vest in sort of a brownish color, and he has a thin pencil mustache and is bald. And he is currently wearing a sort of like thick, round glasses on his nose. And he walks around the what you call it?
counter.
The counter, which is almost as tall as he is. And he says, people from the outside, eh?
Quite
well.
a trip, but a
And
good welcome.
He extends a hand to shake.
I shake it and then sort of nod my head to Sigmund to do the same.
All right. He shakes both your hands. And he says, "So, Miss Ferg Falk, was it?"
Thurgfalk, yes, it's an old family over in Mjolkirk.
Right, Mjolkirk. That's quite a while away, isn't it?
A few weeks' travel, yes, hence our sort of, we're a little winded from the
Impressive.
road.
Yeah, it's quite nice. You've come all the way to our great city. I do hope you're enjoying yourself here. Please, come with me. We'll talk further in my office.
We sort of nod and fall. I look to Sigmund for confirmation, but start to nod slowly.
Yes, so Sigmund kind of like casts aside and nods.
Okay, we'll head up to this totally normal fella's office.
All right. So you go up as you hear the cashier rummaging around, and you go up like the mahogany stairs into a office, which is a lot richer than the stuff that you like Olaf's office, which was by comparison very how do you say it? Very practical, if you will.
Like Spartan.
Yeah, very Spartan. Whereas this place is for one, it's full of pictures, or at least like paintings and like drawings and something that seems like printed apparatsphere photos, something along those lines. And all of them have basically Mr. Graham like shaking hands with someone, presenting like a bottle of his formula, like him posing with like people who have gotten better because of his formula, stuff like that.
Is there one that's like 15 other people and then the Viceroy as well, and Mr. Graham's at like the edge of the frame?
Yeah, basically, that's definitely
that's
that.
me and the Viceroy.
Yeah, that actually means that you get to see the Viceroy's face, and you can see that he is actually a very tall man. He is close to 7 feet.
Can I tell what race he is? That's extremely
That's
tall.
a solid, like,
It is
2.3
extremely
Daves.
God.
As far as you can
lot
tell, as far as you can tell, he seems human by all means. But he is very big, and he has. It's almost strange because he has this big sort of black beard, and a heavy set face and pronounced eyebrows, but he has like a powdered wig on, which
What, like
almost
a white one?
yeah, like a white one with
Oh.
like the rolls on the side. And it almost seems like too small for his head. It's very strange.
Is he like old timey big as well? Like he's kind of sturdy as well as tall? Or is he...
he's sturdy. He's sturdy. Like he's a big man, and
big
the
boy.
powdered wig looks almost strange on him. Let me see if I have his picture. I will look for that. Yeah, I have it somewhere here. He has like a little mole, like a beauty mole on his side, like for all French. It might be fake. Very well could be fake. I will give you the picture. I will just put it in Discord and put it in the handouts later,
Okay.
to save myself time. There we go. There he is. So yeah, it's this weird.
Oh, wow.
That's a man.
It's this weird clash between like pageantry and like foppishness,
Communist leader.
basically, compared to like the brusque appearance of the actual man.
Yeah. Huh. Wow. Well,
yeah.
that's certainly a fella.
Yeah, so that's him. And you are looking at these pictures, and Mr. Graham obviously takes this opportunity to say, "Ah, yes, look, that's me over there with the Viceroy. I remember," and he starts telling like a story about how he saved like I think it was like some outbreak among the palace, some outbreak amongst the palace staff, and he saved like the basically the palace staff and the Viceroy's daughter or something like that. He's like saying all sorts of stuff about it, and he says, "So, Miss Thurgfalk, you are coming to the city, eh? A new apothecary to add to our ranks."
Healer more than apothecary, but eager to build connections.
Good. That's good. You have no interest in the chemicals, apothecary chemicals business, do you?
Eager to make friends in it. Back in Mjolkirk, I was known as someone who could get things done for my fellow business folk.
Right. That's very interesting. In fact, might I ask why exactly that it is you, as someone who seems as well equipped as you, is coming to my store for well, what's little more than handouts?
Well, we were looking to pay. I wouldn't consider it handouts. I'd consider it building a business relationship, and I'd heard you'd had a little trouble with the folks at the clinic. Wondered if I could help.
Oh, those fools at the clinic won't trouble me for many years to come. You know, they've been after my formula since the day I patented it. But I'm afraid that is a secret that I'll take to my gold-lined grave. No. If anything, if you're passing by the clinic, as it were, you wouldn't happen to... And he gives you, like, a wink in advance. You wouldn't happen to run into a certain Mr... I always forget his name. Certain Mr. Farshaw. Would you? I think Edwin Farshaw. He's just a man who I think I met him in a bar once. He's currently working on a formula that improves on healing of magical wounds, I believe, wounds inflicted by magico. But that's just what he told me, really. Very, very interesting fellow. Very interesting research. Very, 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 very interesting. And he gives you another fat wink.
I give a slow nod, then look to Sigmund and give a slow nod.
Slow nod, yeah.
All right.
Well, I'd hate to take up any more of your time anyway, but well, it was very nice to meet you, and if we see Mr. Fireshaw, we'll be sure to pass on your regards.
I would very much appreciate that. Thank you very much. Here's to a interesting business relationship. I hope that you'll quickly find your place here in Blackwater.
Oh, I'm sure that won't be too much trouble at all. The welcome has been so warm so far.
Indeed. Well, I would hope that you have a pleasant day.
Likewise. And I assume we head out and get our...
Yeah,
we get the stuff?
you guys, if you can pay, I think probably maybe a few silvers, like 10 silvers or something like that. Basically 1 gold.
I pass him a couple of gold, you know.
Yeah. You get the apron, you get a full, decent, laboratory robe. So it's a robe that is pretty padded to protect against, spats of all kinds of corrosive stuff. Comes with gloves as well. And you get 2 sort of mouth masks, basically, that are filled with herbs, which are supposedly protecting you against noxious vapors.
Oh, that seems handy. Okay, well, we duck into an alleyway to dress. I don't know. This feels like a strange thing to be putting on in the street.
Maybe. While you guys figure out what to do with those, Glanvar and Dave...
Yes.
You guys would have definitely gotten to the academy by now.
Mm-hmm.
Trudging our way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I assume that you guys are probably walking around inside, Dave wearing his student getup.
Mm-hmm.
Could you roll me a perception as you're going?
Yes. I'm relying on you, Glanvar. Oh, I got 25, that's not too bad.
You're relying on me.
You're the perception dude. You know many things. You see them all. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. 31 and 25. You guys are both very perceptive, and you notice that there are more guards than usual. And
That makes
you notice
sense.
that people are talking, and you hear people saying I heard there was a break-in last night. And you hear them say, yeah, wasn't it in one of Beechwood's office as well? Yeah. Do you think it's a sailor returning to the scene of the crime? Yeah, probably. Man, that's creepy. And do you mean the guards couldn't stop him? What if he's like a phantom? Like a ghost, like a ghost serial killer, like a spectral killer. And yeah, you hear all sorts of stuff, but everyone is clearly on edge since there has been a break-in last night.
Whoops. It also occurs to me that some of those guards saw my face. But then again, I didn't lie to them, and they might not remember the suggestion. I can't remember how that works. At any rate, we're not going to be going to that area. We're going to the alchemy department. Do we know where that is?
Yeah, you can follow the signs. There are some signs, and you can also just follow the smell of ammonia.
Yes.
So you quickly find yourself in the alchemy and you are sort of looking, walking through it. Almost bump into someone who is walking around with like a big tray of small glass bottles which contain like a reddish sort of liquid. Everything is pretty hectic here, and you can see that like the alchemical department has been growing exponentially, and they have to make do with the space that they have.
Yeah, everyone's sharing desks.
Yeah, and you're walking through it, and once you arrive at the big labs, I believe what they were called were where's my notes on this? They're in the same document, but I just need to scroll down. Yeah, so you get to the imploration labs.
Okay.
And as you come by the first lab, which is the fourth one is what you're looking for, imploration lab 4. And as you sort of take a look around to see what this stuff is about, and you come to the fourth lab, you come into a big laboratory space. Half of it is full of like desks with equipment. Half of it is a big open space, in the middle of which is sitting a sort of strange big device the size of a large wardrobe, which central to which is a big glass sphere, which is filled with many needles pointing inwards. And you can see that there is, on the underside of it, there's like some rune stuff, which seems to be like a plate of runes that you can replace, like slide in and slide out.
Right.
It's a very strange device.
Do I have any idea what it might do?
Well, you can either roll me... you will have to roll me a knowledge arcana and a knowledge engineering.
Ooh, low rolls from a Dave.
Ooh. Okay, so you know 14 on the engineering part probably will not cut it.
Man. I suppose I guess it's too late to take a 10, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm afraid. So this is like a weird device. You've not seen this before. The only thing that you'd really know from the Arcana part is that the runes that you can see are things in the conjuration department.
Okay.
So these runes are there to conjure something, assumedly inside of the... And people are sort of walking around. It's not in use right now. There are a few people working at things with the equipment. The only thing that you get for a 14 is that you can see, well, the needles, and you can see a lot of glass tubes. So assumedly, this is meant to harvest a liquid of some kind. That is what you can tell.
Let's hope we don't have to find out what that liquid is, shall we?
Yeah.
And yeah, there's some people working on the equipment. Someone looking through like one of those old like brass microscopes, and you can see on a wall to the side, far away from the machine, you can see a big glass cabinet with a lot of like glass canisters with dark, like weirdly colored liquids in them.
Okay.
That is what you see. This is Imploration Lab 4.
Okay. I have a question for the party, or rather the players, because I made bad notes last session. I wrote down the name of someone called Miss Wolfsnick, but I can't remember in what context. Dave would probably remember the context. It was yesterday for Dave.
Lab 4?
I think so.
Wasn't she the lady who Thingy was saying he was being stalked by?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was it, yeah.
Okay, good. Just checking. How many people are in here at the moment?
There are 3 people in here at the moment. 2 of them are doing work on what looks like these old microscopes, looking at
Yeah.
little glass plates. One of them is currently looks to be is cranking some smaller machine up. Looks pretty bored. It's like a sort of a box thing with like a big crank, and he is winding that up. 2 of them are men, and one of them is a young woman who is doing some microscope work.
And does it look like there's like an office or something attached to this place, or is it just the lab?
It's just a lab.
Are they paying attention to us?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Is there going to be anything useful here? I guess we could. This is me talking to myself, by the way, not Dave talking. What's the best approach here? Because I don't want to draw attention to myself unless I have to. But then again, it doesn't look like there's going to be any easy way of getting information here. Unless I can see, like, any notes around that might be about this weird machine, which I don't know if it's relevant or not, but it's interesting, so Dave is interested in it.
Roll me... There's one thing that you can see. That's a big post-it that is on the glass sphere itself.
Oh, yeah?
And that post-it reads... that post-it reads, "Do not set search frequency over 20! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Otherwise, you will have to roll me a perception or anything else that you might convince me of."
No, I think perception is probably my best bet.
Okay.
Nice.
No, it's 22. Not bad at all. You're looking around. There's a list on the side of the machine, which is pasted to the thing next to a big interface of knobs and buttons and little switches, and it has like multiple entries with SF and then a number, and after that would seem to be like species names. And as you read through them, could you roll me a knowledge planes?
Do I want to roll it or do I want to take a 10? I'm gonna roll it. Hooray, worked out.
Okay, 26. Very good. So with 26, you recognize these as being a few minor outsiders. So there's like a Keiko demon on there, which, funnily enough, isn't actually a demon. It's a harbinger. It's from the neutral evil sort of plane from
Alright.
Abaddon. It's like a weird little bulb, sort of one-eyed soul collecting thing. There's like a dredge on there, or at least it's the seeming scientific name that these people have given it. And there is like maybe there's a lantern archon on there, stuff like that, like minor outsiders. And you can see that some of them have a cross next to them, some of them have a question mark, some of them have nothing at all really, and some of them are underlined. As you are studying this machine, the young lady who is doing microscope work turns to you and says, "Excuse me, What are you looking for? Can
Oh.
I help you?
Sorry, I'm new. I work in one of the other labs. I was sent here to find to talk to a Miss Wolfsnick, and I just noticed this thing and thought it was very interesting.
Miss Wolfsnake.
Wolfsnick? I think that's what they told me.
Well, I think you must be in the wrong lab. I don't know anyone by that name. Sorry.
Is she lying? Can Dave tell?
Roll sense motive.
I have an abysmal sense motive. Yeah, there we go. I don't know idea.
5. It's not a crit fail, so you have no idea.
Oh, I'm
She
sorry.
might be lying. She might not be. She might just be nervous. She might just be really stressed. Who knows? She might have not had a lot of sleep.
I think Dave would probably assume that she's telling the truth though, because he's Dave. Oh, sorry. I guess must have been maybe lab 3 or something. Okay, I'll go look for her.
Right.
I will leave and beckon Glamour with me. Did we see anything that looked like admin offices outside, like in the corridor or anything for this particular area?
Yeah, there are 2 admin offices here that you can see.
Okay.
One of them is labeled, and it is labeled with the last name Shaw. So, Shaw, like this.
Oh, okay.
And the other one is the same kind of door, but it's not labeled.
Yeah, okay. Is there like a window we can see into?
There is no window.
Can I hear anything if I put my ear to the door?
Okay. You hear perception roll.
Many perceptions. Oh, nice! I hear everything.
Very good. Okay. Doom, doom, doom. Sonar through the door.
Yeah.
You hear someone writing on paper, so there's definitely someone inside. You hear like a clunk as someone, or a scrape as someone like moves a chair. You can hear a little crack suddenly. You can hear a female voice. Damn it. And you can hear a drawer moving, someone taking maybe another pencil or something.
Okay. I shall confer with Glambar. There's someone in there. I'm thinking of just knocking on the door, asking, do you know a Miss Wolfsnick? Do you think that's a good idea or not?
Do you know? Oh, the name. Oh, your audio cut out.
Oh, sorry. Dave was asking, do you think I should knock on the door and just ask for this Miss Wolfsnick? Then again, if she was a spy, would that be suspicious? But then again, I don't know. I doubt everyone would know she's a spy, so they might just say, oh, she's gone somewhere else, and then we can go to that place, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Glamour, breaking and entering's more my style. Is there any sort of way to the to the exterior of this office?
You mean whether it is like on the side of the building?
Yeah, so like a window.
The office is on the side of the building, but there is no window immediately nearby.
So I can't play Spider Dwarf.
No.
You could, but you'd have to find a window.
It would take me too long to. We're best gonna have to just try and go the straightforward route for the moment, then.
Okay, and if this doesn't work, then we can do some climbing around secret things.
If this doesn't work, I'll go find a window and we'll see if I can see what we can get into.
Yeah, I could try communing with birds as well. They might have seen something, but yeah, let's try this first. And I shall knock on the door.
So you knock, right?
Yes, like that.
Okay. So as you knock, the voice inside says, "Yes."
Hi.
Come in.
Oh, okay, good. I will come in.
Okay, so you come inside the office, and it's like all of Beechwood's office. It's very Spartan.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of stuff here. And behind the desk is a woman, probably in her like late 40s, with black hair that is done up in sort of a bun. She is looking down some spectacles, and is writing on some kind of paper.
Okay.
She briefly looks up at you, looks back down, and says, "Well, out with it."
Sorry to bother you. I'm looking for a Miss Woolsnick, and I've not been able to find her yet. And I just thought, well, if your admin people know everyone, so I thought I'd come ask.
She stops for a moment, and she says, "I don't know anyone by that name."
Grandpa Chipson, are you sure? That was very, very sudden.
As you said, I'm an admin. I know the people who work here, and any Miss Woolsnick is not on the list.
Can I tell her
Can
she's
Grandpa
lying?
do a sense motive?
Yeah, let's both do one.
Yeah, you can both roll
That
sense
seems
motive.
more appropriate since we're both there. Dave doesn't know anything. Say big bro Glam. Thank you, bro Glam.
Power move. Dave,
Glanvar should
you
never
don't know
play.
anything.
You should never play poker with Glanvar.
Yeah, Dave, you don't know anything. Anvar, on the other hand, you have like detective mode on. You can see all the signs. This lady is definitely lying to you.
He taps Dave on the shoulder and just offers a very stern look, and sort of trying to convey an intention of, "I don't believe this. I don't believe this person."
Dave like nods slowly.
Well, just taps him on the shoulder as Dave turns. He just doesn't look at him. He just glares and just nods his head towards the person, towards the admin
Yeah,
lady.
lady.
Yeah.
Oh god. What would Dave do now?
Well, there's two ways. We either back out, or we
press on.
stealth our way in, or we push our luck.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I do have ranks as escape artist, so I can't escape from this if it goes wrong. Dave's gonna sort of.
You're cool. You're the brains of the outfit.
Yes, he's also only 19. Right, Dave will
Okay.
say in like his most sinister tone, which probably isn't very sinister.
Okay.
I think you're lying to me.
Backed up.
Why are you covering for this person? Who is she?
Backed up by Glanvar's glower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I roll like an intimidate or something?
You could, yeah.
I do in fact have quite a bonus to this. That's not too bad considering I'm only 3 feet tall.
Yeah, that's decent. Okay, so she looks up at you.
Down at me.
Oh yes, fuck. Even from the desk, she looks down.
Yep.
And she looks at you, Glanfar. She, like Dave, your presence of intimidation is definitely enhanced by
the giant dwarf
Glanfar,
behind me with
like
covered in prison
glaring
tats.
from the back.
By the foot
Having
taller
like
dwarf.
prison tattoos on his face. And she says, "Okay, what do you want?"
Just want to know who she is and what she in Lab 4 were up to.
Well, in terms of who she is, you're talking to her. And what I'm up to, well, and she pauses for a moment, and it's sort of a weird pause. And she says, "Well, I wouldn't know anything about that."
Mr. Peachwood seemed quite suspicious of you before he died.
You cut away there for a moment.
Dave said, well, Mr. Peachwood seemed quite suspicious of you before he died, suspiciously. Any ideas what that might be?
What? Oh, you mean my co-worker's little prank? Yes. Well, students are students, I suppose, and honestly, it's quite embarrassing that they would annoy Mr. Peachwood with such a thing, especially considering the recent tragedy and that he had to spend time on his time of his last few hours on something like that. But, well, it can't be helped, I suppose, though I am sorry for him.
What did the students do?
Well, it's quite clear, isn't it? They've all just been playing their little prank on Professor Peachwood, trying to make it look as though he's being followed or there's someone on his tail. Unfortunately, the man wasn't the youngest anymore, and he had some, well, strange tendencies, I suppose, rather conspiratory. I think it might have been something from his past, a bad experience, but I wouldn't really know.
Well, if that's true and it was just, something silly, harmless student things, why did you lie about who you are and knowing who? Oh God, I forgot her name. Miss something. Woolsnick.
Yes, Woolsnick. She looks at you and seems to be thinking about what to say. And she says, and then she sort of blinks and seems to be regaining her posture a bit. What kind of questions are you asking anyway? Who are you, actually? What's your name?
My name is Albert Caddywhistle, and we were family friends of Mr. Peachwood, and we all found his death rather suspicious. And he seemed to be rather on edge about Lab 4 and whatever was going on there.
Look, listen, Caddywhistle, was it?
Mm-hmm.
And she's sort of going through like a list of papers, sort of. So Mr. Caddy was like, C, where's the C? Anyhow, here we go. Cabrin, Cassius, Caem. That's strange. No C-A-D. So Mr. Caddywhistle, either you are very new here, or you are not a student of this academy.
Oh, I am new. My family sent me over just yesterday.
Well, if that's true, then I think you would better hurry up and get your paperwork in order.
Yes, I'll do that right away. Can I roll bluff? Just to put her at ease.
Yes, you can.
Come on, Dave.
18. That's good enough because she is trying to get you out of there.
Yeah, and we're going to leave as well.
Yeah. So yeah, she is definitely like refusing to give you any more information. And an 18 is definitely good enough to appear as though you have genuinely dropped your interest.
Yeah. Okay. Come on, Glamour, let's go.
Okay, so while you guys are going and pursuing other means to get information from this place, two newly found medicine people are heading for the Caramon Clinic.
Oh, can I say, I was planning on, like, after this, if Caramon Glamour should come back when it's dark and go through our stuff. But until then, go to the clinic and wait to see if Sigmund and Thara show up, in which case we could team up. But if that would have happened, like, while we were still here, then that's fine. You can carry on.
Are you going towards the clinic now?
Yeah, like, so we can come back to the office when it's dark and she isn't there.
Okay, yeah. That's fair. So as you are heading away, could you roll me 1d10?
Okay.
What in the name of gods do these D10s keep meaning?
Okay, so that's a 7. Let me look on my thing.
700 bears fall out of the sky.
70 half bears.
Okay, so a beholder
The
comes
other
through.
half is also a bear.
A full tour. An army of full tours.
No.
A what?
Hi.
It's...
How are you?
Did we not talk about this? We must have spoken about this.
I don't know what
What's
you're talking about
that?
either.
What's a full tour? Is it like a centaur, but it's like upper
Full
half
horse.
is a bottom of a horse? Is it like a horse? Is it just a
No.
horse?
So the druid and friends at the table can make new species.
Okay.
And
That
his
is terrifying.
contribution
Continue.
to this is a horse and rider that is one organism.
Okay.
It's an extremely it's a somewhat smart horse that can inflate an appendage that looks like a rider,
Okay.
that can speak, but only very limited sentences. So, like, it can fool people. So it's just like, hey there,
Oh god.
how are you?
Nice
Nice
weather
weather
we're
we're having.
Oh
It's
god.
the worst. It is the
I'm
worst
stealing
concept.
that immediately. That is the best thing. I am like, that is gonna be a player race in like my next game. Fuck.
I hate it.
Okay. Regardless, Dave and
Yes.
Glenfart.
It turns out Fultor is some weird kind of furry porn, by the way. Don't Google that.
Don't. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
Don't-
interested in any of that.
No, me neither. I just want fan art of it, and I didn't get it.
Yeah, let's just stop talking about that. Actually, anyhow, from a 7 on the mystical D10,
D10 of
you
mystery.
notice nothing out of the ordinary.
What the fuck is happening?
Thyra and
The other one.
Thyra and Sigmund. Sigmund, that is our 4th player character. Sigmund. No, Sigmund and Thyra, you guys are at the clinic right now. Well, at the library and the clinic.
We're in the morgue of the clinic. Thyra looks around and says, "Wow, that was easy."
No, you are you are in the library at the moment, looking for entry to the morgue, which you actually find reasonably quickly, considering that there is
it's right
like
next to the door.
yeah, there's like inside the library, there's like a trail of floorboards that are a lot more meticulously like eroded by cleaning
Oh, God.
than the others. And it leads to like a big double door with a sign on it, personnel only.
And I look at Thyra. Thyra looks at me with our very kind of clothes, and we give ourselves a nod and head on in.
We give ourselves a like Yzma and Kronk style high five. It's like a kind of stoop.
I really like that.
That's our alchemist gear.
On lever, Sigmund!
It works. I love
Oh,
it.
that's such a good vibe. I'd be really into
It's
that.
such a good vibe, isn't it?
Like the
um,
height difference is even there. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
I
So
guess you could say with our armor we're metal alchemists. Oh,
I don't. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't really-
What
I
if there's
think
a
I'm having a
spiral
come down.
staircase going
It's
down
a
into the morgue?
alchemist joke. Okay.
I'm just
So,
saying. What if
Sigmund,
there's a
are you
spiral
wearing-
staircase going into the
Sigmund,
morgue?
are you wearing this apron like over your full plate armor?
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Are we? Do we have this
Are
discussion?
you?
Because, okay, like me, Matt has opinions on this, but Sigmund, like, has Thyra tried to talk Sigmund out of doing this ever?
Well, the thing is, he's only wearing an apron, and Thyra's armor is like agile. So, like, it probably is fairly sort of form-fitting, and, like...
Sure, okay, cool.
Yeah,
It's
like
like loose
Fyra,
panels
you
and
can
stuff.
definitely wear your alchemy.
Also, I'm wearing, like, the full padded suit, where it probably would
Yeah,
make
you are
sense
wearing
for
the
me to
suit.
be,
You
like...
can easily conceal your armor. Sigmund, not so much.
Like, does it seem like Sig should be disguised at this point further, or are they just going to roll
Nah,
with
it's probably fine.
It's
Okay,
probably
because
fine.
Sigmund is not smart enough to not do this himself. So,
No, he really isn't.
okay, let's just go. Let's just go. Let's just go. Okay,
Fyra
cool.
is an optimist.
Okay, so you come into the
Yeah, down the spiral staircase and into the morgue.
yeah, you go down the spiral staircase and into the morgue. You can see, like, as you go down the staircase, you realize that this would be like a terrible bother to carry like a body through, basically, on like a because it's like a round spiral staircase. So you would get stuck in like corners all the time.
Yeah.
It's just more of this terrible architecture, and you come to the bottom of the staircase. There are some people walking around with aprons and mouth masks. You can see.
Oh, we do have the masks on as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. You can see someone is like pushing a cart which has a body on it because this is a morgue. And as you are stepping forward, someone wearing what looks like full plate armor and an apron on top walks by and says, "Oh, are you kidding me? Have we finally gotten funds for a second set? Oh, that is fantastic. Honestly, the corrosive shit that they do in the alchemy department, it's horrible. Finally, we are able to deal with this. Fuck." And just
Sigmund just gives him two thumbs up, like big metal thumbs up.
and just like clanks on in like a entire suit of armor, just like you, Sigmund.
That's
My
convenient.
lie was even more convenient than I thought. Okay, what does it actually look like
So-
down here?
Down here, what it looks like is you have a big central hall, and there are a few doors, probably like 3 on either side, and there is at the end there is another big double door, and what you can see right now is that the doors to your side are numbered, and they seem to be labeled like storage 1, storage 2, or well, morgue 1, morgue 2, and so on. Probably not storage, but like where the bodies are being kept.
Yeah, it's body storage.
And you have the big double doors on the end, which have like a sign pointing forward, which says dissection room, well, autopsy room 1, 2, 3, and crematorium.
Autopsy rooms.
Actually, or crinkling. It's annoying.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, there's like onward. This is like where bodies are being kept, and onwards through the double doors is autopsy rooms and the crematorium.
So autopsy rooms, I think, is where we need to be.
Yeah, and there are two.
That sounds about right, based on
Yeah,
what
there's
we've
like a
got.
few people talking right here. If you want, you can give me like a quick roll for listening in.
Yeah, you want
Would that
a
be
quick
perception?
perception?
Yeah, perception.
I
Perception
don't.
if you are listening in. Sense motive if you want to like taste the air, if you will, of the mood.
We can't taste the air. We're wearing
no.
gas masks.
Fyra, as you are looking around, you fail to notice someone coming up ahead and bumps into you with like a cart, and you feel like a wet, or like a cold arm sort of slap against your leg. And it's like, oh shit! Oh, I'm sorry.
Morgue adventures are possibly as bad as sewer adventures.
Sewer adventures. Ugh.
Yeah, and it's
Hate
like
them both.
this like pale and dead arm coming from underneath like a cover cloth. Like this morgue person just lifts up the arm and like stuffs it underneath back under the cloth and quickly drives on. Sigmund, you're not really vibing with this place.
Can I do a sense motive as well, or is it?
Yeah, you can do a sense motive as well if you want. That's a lot better. Yeah,
I don't remember to set the rolls correctly.
There's a tension here. People seem to be on edge, as if something has happened, but you can't immediately overhear what.
Someone else stole the body before we could.
Ah, jeez, can you imagine? That'd be really
Oh, it sucks
convenient.
so much when I'm going to body hunt across the city.
I'm gonna push into the autopsy room.
Okay. So you go on ahead, and you come into a second hallway, which has 3 doors, and at the end, another double doors to the crematorium. And there's doors to the 3 autopsy rooms. And there's some people talking here. And there's someone who seems to be like someone just comes outside of the one of the rooms, like gloves covered with blood, and says, "Hey, does anyone have like a spare Dr. Pepper on hand? I'm a bit thirsty, so anyone got something?" And someone says, "Oh, no, dude, I just have like this bottle of water." Oh yeah, that's fine. And he just like grabs the bottle of water with his bloodied glove, uncorks it, and like drinks it, puts it back, gives it back. Thanks, dude. Fuck yeah, you're welcome.
Did
So, yeah.
anyone else forget this entire city was sponsored by Dr. Pepper, by the way?
I remember there was
Like, that's
a gag about it, but I can't
Weird
remember
part
any
of the
detail.
world building. I'm not sold on it. So, I guess, do the doors to the autopsy rooms have, like, windows? Can we just poke out, like,
Yeah, they have like a little window each.
can Sigmund take a look through them?
Sure. What do you need me to do?
Look through a window that's at a human head height and not a dwarf head height, I assume.
Sure. Let's.
That's I thought you were like just delegating stuff to Sigmund.
Yep, that's it. I'm the senior adventurer on this job, apparently.
Look through the window, Kronk.
Okay.
Wrong window!
I'll give it a go. Do you want like a stealth check or a perception?
You can roll me a stealth check if you're trying to be stealthy.
Yeah, it's like a
okay.
Hitman-style blend
That
in.
may not have been okay.
Okay.
Like some people give you looks.
I
As
wave.
you are.
You were...
What does this look like? How are you failing to be stealthy about looking through little windows?
So I look through a window, like as if I'm trying not to have someone notice me. In the room, they do, and I just give them a wave and a thumbs up. What do I
Okay.
see?
Inside you can see someone who just has like the hands full of guts. They give like a thumbs up back with like a bloodied glove. They just keep on doing the work, but it looks fucking sick. Roll
Is it the professor
fortitude.
dude?
People
What?
in this morgue seem very,
You
very friendly.
recognize the man being morgued.
The man being morgued looks to be
Autopsy. The word I was looking for was
Yeah.
autopsy there.
yeah.
I like morgues,
So
that's good.
the autopsied man is, as far as you can tell, Sigmund. He definitely doesn't look like an old man. It's like a young man with a big, like a wound on his face, like a burn wound. He seems to have been hit by like corrosive shit.
Ew.
Definitely not all of Beechwood.
Oh, maybe it's those sewer things.
Yeah.
I was shaking my head at fire, and let's check another room.
Okay, well,
Where's that
it's still
fortitude
gonna be-
roll, by
yeah,
the
you
way?
need to
Like
roll
that stuff was like fucking sick. You just saw a man with his hands full of guts.
You want a fortitude check? Sorry, I missed you saying you wanted that. Sigmund has seen worse shit than this, but I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
That's true, but it's like the vibe in here.
All
It's
right.
like the sort of combination
23.
of like the dead, like the smell of dead stuff and like industrial cleaner combined with like that image and just these weirdly happy people. That's fine. You have seen worse shit than this, but it's not a nice place exactly. Okay, so with a 3 stealth, as you are going for another window, someone asks you, "Oh, are you for the alchemy stuff, right? We've got someone in room 3 who's currently covered by that shit. I think that's probably where you need to be."
We're part of the investigation team for the Peachwood autopsy.
Oh.
Special assignment, sorry.
Oh,
did
great.
you get
So
the
they haven't told-
messenger run ahead?
So they have not told you then. We ran into a problem like maybe a day or more back. Well, I suppose there's just no proper way to say this. We've had a burglary.
What?
Of the corpse?
I called it! I called it!
How did you ingrates lose a body and then not let us know?
Look, I'm sorry, okay? Like, this guy actually thinks that you are, like, special op, like,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah,
like,
consider
his
pick him up
career.
and be like shaking him a little bit.
Look.
You understand how big of a deal this is, right?
Yes, I
Like
do.
degree, like
Sorry, I wasn't
career.
I wasn't on
costing.
shift 2 nights ago, okay?
Who was
just at
I'm
home.
angry.
Tell me now.
What?
Who was
What
on
you say?
shift?
What? I'm sorry, what were you asking?
I was asking who was on shift when the theft happened.
Oh shit, I'm gonna have to rat him out, aren't I? Oh shit. Oh man, this is
You better
What's
ask.
good
makes,
for you?
I slap him
this
across
makes
the
me
face.
feel bad socially. I think
It makes him feel bad socially.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, oh
that's
man,
what
these are
bad
my
socially.
colleagues, man. I don't want to rat out.
Nobody likes it,
I'm
no.
gonna lose my job, my kids.
Yes, if
I
you
didn't
lose
have
your
kids.
job, then you definitely won't have colleagues.
No, and maybe not even kids. Okay, this is
Maybe.
getting really
He's
weird.
a
So I'm just
strong guy.
I'm gonna turn it
I'm just
upside
gonna get
down and
on.
start shaking
I'm
him.
just gonna get on with the snitching if you're okay with that.
Please, hurry up. He'll shake you good.
Yeah. So I mean, Harry was on shift. I think he's currently in the storage room right now. I think Matilda and
storage.
Lydia. I think. Oh shit. Maybe Ron, but he probably wasn't because he's never around. I was late at
Okay.
night. I think it was just the 4 of them. Please,
Okay.
please
so
let me keep my
Harry,
job.
right? Well, we'll see. Wait out here. We'll go and deal with this Harry character, I suppose.
Okay,
You let the irrelevant authorities know next time if you see any suspicious characters.
I
All
will.
right.
I mean, I thought this stuff had reached you, but oh man,
Really not.
no. Apparently, I'm so sorry about that. But look, don't fire Harry, okay? He's a good guy. Fire Ron if you have to. He's kind of a dick, and he never shows up. So there's that. Look, just I don't know how this happened. Okay, I didn't even see him. I didn't even see the guy who took him.
Well, that could have been the Slayer getting rid of all of the fucking evidence. Thank you for your diligence.
Oh god, it
And
might have
Farah's
been.
gonna stomp towards the
Oh
storage room.
god, he was in here. He might have killed me. Oh god, my kids, my non-existent kids.
Stop talking about future kids.
Signal go.
It's
You
a,
know.
it's a serious concern in my life, okay?
You know, they say anyone that's in the vicinity of the sailor has only 3 days to live.
Oh shit, man. And this guy just like staggers back and just runs into the somewhere into the storage rooms.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Someone else corpse thefted before we could corpse thieve. If only we'd gone first like I wanted to.
Well, he said it was a couple of days ago, so it probably wouldn't help
okay.
that much.
Oh yeah, we've only
Yeah,
been
it
here
was
like a
the
day.
night before you arrived in Blackwater.
Well, we should still... There might be some
Yeah.
autopsy notes of some kind.
Let's go shake down the Harry guy.
Yeah, let's... Like, are we just like bad cop and worse cop? Is this how this is going?
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
You can do bad cop. I'll do poorly motivated cop.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, can I do like existential dread cop? And you can be
Yeah,
poorly
you have to
motivated cop?
wonder about what you've become. like midway through bad copping this dude.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it.
I'm gonna do good but ineffectual cop, so you're like shaking him down and stuff, and I'm like, whoa man, easy, but I'm not getting involved.
Okay.
Right. Cool.
Like both sides have points. You're shitty centrist cop, is that the
I'm a shitty centrist cop, that's the thing.
okay. Alright.
Worst
That sounds
kind of
great.
cop.
I'm a pacifist.
Nice. Okay, so how are you approaching looking for this Harry character? Are you
Violently.
just yelling out for him? Are you shaking down that poor guy with his future kids?
Not that guy
Well,
again.
he-
I hate
well,
that guy.
He said he gave us approximate kind of place we were looking for Harry, right? He gave
Oh
us
yeah, like Harry's in the storage rooms, he said.
Yeah, let's just head there. Let's just head there with murder in our eyes.
All right, yeah. So you're looking around. Everyone is, because that other guy ran into the storage rooms earlier. That guy is like cowering in a corner somewhere. Everyone is just like trying to avoid your eyes, avoid your gaze, and is like looking, like sneaking a look at someone who is like standing in a corner trying to look busy. And this is probably Harry, and he looks exactly like Daniel Radcliffe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is it with the weird Hogwarts references in this module?
Sorry,
Yeah,
a weird
who
Hogwarts
knows, man?
reference?
Yeah, I was.
'cause we had the whole like weird like academy thing last session as well,
Did we?
and one
Yeah,
who
I
looked a
guess.
bit like Hermione, and yeah, okay.
I have
We
no
had
memory of
Ron in this one as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, shit. I didn't even process that. Yeah, okay.
Janet Kaig, she kind of looked like Hermione if you think about it.
Oh yeah.
Alright, okay.
Moss
Okay.
Payne is kind of a Snape-ish character. Anyhow,
I'm not
guess.
sure. I'm not sure how this is like playing out. But I kind of like it.
we're
Sure.
fighting our way through Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Evil Hogwarts.
Fair enough. So there's this Harry character looking like Daniel Radcliffe, and he says, "Oh, geez, it's about me, isn't it? Can we just take this somewhere, like not in front of my colleagues, please, ma'am?"
Why
Sure,
are you
let's
all so
go.
socially concerned about your colleagues? I don't get this. I don't like the people I work with.
I'm a bastard.
Yeah,
You're
he's a
what?
notorious raging alcoholic, and he's violent.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah. Well, it's a good
So-
thing no one's done anything to upset him, right? Thyra glares at Harry.
Sigmund just reaches
jeez.
down and like just grabs him on the shoulder. So let's go somewhere private. Let's go to the furnace room.
I'm actually having second thoughts about this, but okay.
Too late.
Okay, so you steer Harry towards the crematorium.
Yes.
And in the moody and pleasant light of the furnace,
This is actually pretty nice. I was quite cold.
it's like a hearth fire but horrible. And he says, "Okay, so you probably heard about the burglary thing. Yeah, I was on shift 2 nights back, and so I was just walking down the corridor, cleaning up, just looking out around with my lantern. Matilda and Lydia were doing some like late work to make sure that everything was in order for the next day. And Ron, well, honestly, I don't have a fucking clue where Ron was. He wasn't there, as always. But in any case, and I was looking around, right, and I come into storage room 6, where we were keeping Mr. Peachwood, and in my light, I see like this figure hunched over his body, and he was horrible. He looked awful. He was like this skinny sort of man. He had like a big, weird scar on his face, and this weird like hairdo as well. and he looked at me, and he said, I think, "Oh shit!" And then there was this flash of red light, and he was gone, and Peach was as well. I think he might have been like a wizard. Can you imagine?
No,
Ugh.
wizards don't exist. Don't worry about that. Can I roll sense motive?
Yeah, you can roll sense motive.
I want to know if he's lying. The bastard.
He seems genuine.
Oh. So he said like a tall person. With
Well,
a
not so
scar
much
across his
tall,
face?
not so much tall, but it was like really skinny, sort of, like a thin fellow. And he was looking pretty worse for wear, I think. But I only got a brief look at him. But there was this, yeah, he had like these weird eyes and the sort of looking at me, and he had this weirdly shaped scar on his face. And well, I was talking to the guards about this, and oh man, like I'm really sorry this hadn't reached you. By the way, I'm so embarrassed about that.
No, don't worry about it. Special investigations, we're the last people to hear, and the first
Yeah.
people who should.
Yeah, probably. I don't envy your job. I really don't. In any case, so I was talking to some people, and someone told me, right? And okay, this is like my own theory about it. Okay, so I'm not like you guys. I'm not. Ooh, that was me hitting my mic there. Not like you guys. I'm not like special operative. Not city guard. But I was talking to someone, and they said that all of Beechwood had like this apprentice. Or no, it wasn't an apprentice. It was an assistant, right? And he got like caught trespassing or something a few days ago, and then it turned out it was weird. It turned out he had the cuff, so they put him in the quarantine area, but it was like a sort of a weird situation, and Peach was all like, no, we can like take care of it, like don't worry about it. But the guard was like, no, he's got the cuff, he has to go in quarantine, and they sort of took him, and apparently that guy had like a scar on his face as well. But I don't know whether it's the same. Like those alchemy guys, they've got like all of them have scars on their faces because like fuck, what did they even do in those fucking labs? But I don't know. I just had like this theory, right? What if it's like him, and what if he's the sailor, right? And at this point, like his theory starts sort of falling apart. But with a 22 sense motive, you can tell that it's probably like like decent information. But after that, like once he starts sort of correlating it with the sailor and stuff like that, it gets sort of like stoner conspiracy-ish. Yeah, but
okay, well that's a good lead. In order to ensure the secrecy here, because well, you know, the sailor is well, he could be anyone, as you say.
Right.
Best keep that particular theory under your hat. We'll speak to you if we need to find you. Understand?
Right. Okay. I'm glad to be working with you, Mum. And like you can tell that he thinks he's like honorary special operative right now.
Oh, that's adorable.
And he says like, if I come to any new conclusions, I'll be sure to let you know. I guess.
Please do. And Thyra leaves.
Okay, cool. At that point, I think that Dave and Clanfar have also arrived at the clinic. Are you guys still looking around for something in the morgue?
I was planning on just waiting for Thyra and Sigmund.
Can we check out storage room 6 just quickly?
Yeah, you can.
Just in case the body was moved from one area to another.
Yes, so you look around storage room 6. You like there's obviously like dead people in here. Most of them covered by like a pale cloth. And there's a register basically, like some notes lying on a table, and most of that stuff is not extremely extreme. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, none of that is extremely relevant.
Is there any sign of any magical sort of detritus?
There is.
Don't forget
Okay,
that the tech
make-
magic doesn't work.
Well, that's
Yeah.
my thinking. I don't even have it prepped today.
Roll.
Actually.
You can convince me of a roll. It doesn't need to be perception, but
I was thinking spellcraft.
right, that's an interesting roll. So you are looking for like physical traces of magic, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like the burn marks of. Oh, holy shit!
That's
Nice.
very good. That's
Considering
very
I only have
good.
a +4 to
With
spellcraft,
a
that's pretty good.
23, you look around and you look on the floorboards, or rather the stonework of the floor, because you wouldn't have a wooden floor in the basement. It's like a
This
smooth,
place might. Fuck.
a smooth stone place, smooth stone floor. You can tell that there is a sort of a circular area close to the middle of the room where the patterns of the stone are sort of jumbled. They seem to be sort of displaced. And with 23 in spellcraft, you know that poor teleportation tends to like bungle up like patterns in like woodwork and stuff around it as
Oh.
like the translocation magic spills, if you will.
So it's like warped the stone almost?
Yeah.
Neat.
And you know from a 23 in spellcraft that is like traces of teleportation, but like pretty poor teleportation. And I think knowing that kind of like warp
Looks
pattern,
like his magical abilities. Thyra takes off her sunglasses, pauses, then puts back on her sunglasses. Were poor.
nice.
Yeah, for CSI Miami.
Yeah. Okay. They were teleport. In fact, you are pretty sure that with a shitty teleport like that, actually, roll me a knowledge arcana, because you know that like the teleport must not have been great, but with an 8. Yeah, you're not sure what exactly would have gone wrong with it. Like, you're not sure whether it would have cut it short. You're not sure whether it would have, like, splinched him as he went.
Oh, God.
You're not sure whether he is now, like, merged with the dead body of Olaf Beechwood.
Jesus. Oh, that'd be worse.
That would be
what I am
worse.
going to do is take some notes and ask Dave about it.
Okay.
When
Yeah,
I get back
because
to my friend
What
who
you
knows
can, the only thing that you can infer here is that it was a very hasty teleport.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's good. Sigmund, did you have anything?
No, I think I'm okay for the time being.
All right. Then I think as you are leaving the clinic, you will run into Dave and Clanvar.
Someone done stole the corpse we were going to steal. Hot
And
diggity.
We can discuss this next week because it's 10.
Next
can.
time.
Indeed, because it is 10, and this is a good place to leave off, I think.
Yeah.
Parties,
Goodbye,
the gang's back together.
everyone, And Thyra's got to
I
wave at the
think
screen.
it's probably like little before noon at this point in the day.
Oh man, I missed Levenses. Oh no, what a shame.
What?
Yeah,
I
you
gave
had
You
sandwich.
had your sandwich. You had your sandwich.
Did
I
you
was
have
doing
it
it, why don't
like
I
on the
ate
way
it?
to the clinic?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. So the gang's back together.
All right.
We've got a new lead and a dead end.
But
Yeah.
Dead end.
Yeah.
Get it?
No.
Okay, never mind. Let's come back next week. Goodbye.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Thanks for watching
Bye
PATHCO.
bye everyone. Bye.
Okay, yeah, that was a weird ending, but bye.